Well, day has finally arrived. I've been chatting to this gent for a couple of weeks now to get this organized. Azif, welcome, and thank you so much for stopping by to have a quick chat. I met you probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, again at a BNI meeting, and you were almost double the size you are now.
Yeah, practically.
And I was like, hey, there's another big chap. Let's just call it as it is. Another fatty like me. Woo!
Yeah,
I don't have to feel so bad.
I was the same. I was the same way. I was like, oh, there's another one. Thank God. I don't feel like I'm out of place.
Us chubby dudes stick together. And then what did you go and do? You went and you lost a huge amount of weight. What seemed like over quite a short period of time, really. But what I'd like to do is just have a chat with you, get into some of your background, understand how you got to that point of being really, really large, and then what made you sort of change to the half of the shadow that you are now.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, give us a bit of your background. I know you grew up in Dubai, right?
Yeah, so I was born in Abu Dhabi actually, but moved to Dubai when I was like 13, 14. But already since then, I was quite a large kid from Abu Dhabi. I was always quite tall. So I used that as an excuse to eat, I guess. You know, big tall people eat lots of food, as they say. So from then on, I went to high school and stuff, and I always had a problem with my weight, like from a young age through high school. I did lose a bit of weight in high school when I was I was about 15 or something. I lost a good amount of weight, but I did it, not the right way, and I gained it back almost immediately in less than a year. It was much easier to gain it back. And then I went on with, university and moved to Switzerland to do my education. And I was around cooking and food. So again, my addiction to snacking was an issue, and eating. So my problem was snacking mainly, and then also, of course, enjoying, large portions, of course, and also non-exercise. I feel like that was a big factor. It's not much movement throughout the day, apart from the usual, going to class and studying and meeting friends and drinking and all that sort of jazz. But then combine that when I'm on my own and bored, I just grab a large bag of chips and a Coke or whatever, and have at least a family bag a day, at least, maybe two depending on the mood. And if I'm hungry, I have like ramen noodles or whatever was around. And of course, being in culinary school, there's a lot of food around. And there was buffets for lunch, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm telling you one thing, buffets are honestly the worst thing you can do, because you never know, as a big guy, you never know when you're full. So you can just take, one or two plates, and you see other people eating a plate or two, but you're just like, okay, I'm just going to get a bit more. I'm going to get a bit more. Stack up those plates. You're going to get a star, going to have dessert, going to have everything. So it'd be like, you'd eat easily around 5,000 calories a day without a question, not even thinking about it, just thinking that's normal for you and everything like that. So from there, that's how I really started to blow. And then I came back to Dubai, worked as a chef for a while, and then moved into shipping actually. And during that time is when I really gained a lot of weight, because I met my now wife. So when you're comfortable in a relationship, you're not really looking to work out and lose weight, because you're kind of like, I got whatever, Obviously, that's not good. That's not right at all. So I gained a lot more weight, and I reached my peak at 149 kilograms actually.
Wow.
I haven't weighed myself at that time. I hadn't weighed myself for years, or at least 2 years,
Right.
And like I thought I was 120 or something, because that's what I always was before when I was in school and uni. And I was like shocked at how massive I was, and I knew I was big, but I didn't realize how big I was until I stood on that scale,
Right.
and it kind of shocked me. And that was when my daughter was born, like roughly a month or two before that. So I was like trying to get a bit more fit. And I remember one time taking my daughter out of the crib and hurting my back, because I had a lot of excess weight on my back. So to me, I was like, okay, this is not normal, So I checked my weight, and then I did this, and I checked my weight, and I was shocked. And I was like, I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to not be able to hold my daughter and run around with her and exercise and play, just run around your daughter. She's a little baby. She's crawling around. She's going to get older. She's going to run around. I got to chase her, So that's when it started, and I did a bit of research of what best options is for me, because I went through yo-yo dieting in the past. I went through the all cabbage diet, and all those things don't really work. You need to change your lifestyle.
Right.
So yeah, so that's how I gained the weight.
Okay. So how tall are you, Azif?
I'm 6'2",
Okay.
186 centimeters.
Yeah. So you're a tall guy, and I'm fairly broad, and so people look at me and think, oh wow, he's a big guy. Meanwhile, yeah, okay, my broadness sort of hides my fat. You know, and you can live off that for years. Oh, he's just a big guy, you know, he must play rugby, oh, you know, all that sort of stuff. And it's amazing how your mind just sort of adapts to that. Yeah, I'm a big guy, I'm the jolly guy, I'm the fun guy, I'm the, you know, the life of the party. But in reality, when you go home and you think, good God, man, what have I just done? I haven't been able to move properly. My aha moment the first time round was I was similar to you. I was working away. I had unlimited sort of access to food because I was living on my own for 3 nights a week. And I was just eating pure rubbish, man. Instead of working out, I was sitting in front of the TV, bored out of my tree, and then just snacking on chips, dip, ribs, you name it, and staying up till stupid hours of the night, you know, snacking in front of the TV. And yeah, I got you 130. That was my heaviest. But I mean, think of the difference in height. You know, I'm like 5 foot nothing, and you're 6'2". It's a, you know, and my aha moment was my wife and I were in London. We were running late to catch a train back to Grantham in Lincolnshire from a George Michael concert, and we were running, and he just pulled away from me, like literally, like she's just running, and I'm, hold on, I can't catch up. And it's like, stop, I will catch a cab. It was that sort of thing. I'm like, and then I realized, no way, man, this is just ridiculous. Well, I was probably about 50 years old, that weight, and I couldn't run like 100 meters without dying. And that was my aha moment, and I changed and I got down to 90, you know, which was great. Then coming to Dubai and living the lifestyle and, you know, brunches all the time. Yeah, quickly added up, mate. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just a mindset thing, isn't it? That's what it boils down to, really. It's a mindset thing. When you sort of in that mode, you just don't realize, or you maybe you realize, but you don't want to admit.
True, I agree completely. It's a mindset. Yeah, it's like making excuses, you know, for your weight. Anything you can. Yeah. Whether I'm broad, whether I played rugby. I think you know, as men, people look at us and say, okay, it's okay for him to be fat. At least that's what we think, you know.
Yes.
We think it's okay. He's a big dude. He's a strong dude. He's fat and stuff. But that's what people think or people say. But what they say, but that's not what they think. I know, you know, like after losing the weight, it's a huge difference. People just say that to make you feel good or whatever.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So it's a difference, definitely.
So then you've done some research, you decided on a lifestyle change. And what was that lifestyle change? What sort of actions did you put in place?
So for me, I mean, for a lot of people who are overweight, it's definitely carbs that are the main factor in gaining weight, whether that be, you know, during snacking, because most snacking, which are crisps, is just pure carbs and no other benefits. Sugars, you know, people who are addicted to chocolate and things like that, that's how you gain a lot of weight. Or sodas, it's all carbs, which is sugar. So I realized that most meals I would have some sort of heavy carb meal with a bit of protein and whatever. So I decided to do a lot of research into keto, and I decided to, you know, cut out as carbs from that day on, cut carbs. I didn't have the mindset, okay, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start day after, or let me wait till New Year, or whatever, you know, reason there is. I just said, right now, as I was thinking that, I decided my next meal was a keto meal. It was a salad, you know, with a good amount of cheese, a good amount of healthy proteins and everything. And from that day onwards, it was every day ingrained in my mind to cut out carbs as much as possible. So keep it in the ketosis range, which is under 10 grams of carbs, which is barely anything. You can't really even have a biscuit. So, you know, you keep your carbs as low as possible. And then that was good for the first few months. I lost a good amount of weight. And then I hit a certain plateau. So I did a bit more research and decided to also involve intermittent fasting. And that's when real changes happened. Because I was cutting calories down from 5,000 when I went from, non-keto to keto. Then I went down to like 1,500. And with intermittent fasting, I also kept my 1,500. But what happened was, instead of having the calories throughout the day, I was focusing on a few hour break. So the rest of the time when I was doing, my daily activities of just walking, working, that time I'm burning calories plus not consuming calories. So I wasn't really counting calories per se, but I had on my phone, my watch, it would say how much calories I burned during the day and stuff. So I would burn more than I would eat. And that's how you lose weight, is to more out than in.
Yeah, and
I just kept that going, and I saw, first week I saw a kilogram go down, and that was what really motivated me. I was like, wow, 1 week, 1 kilogram. I know I could see myself from 149, 148, slowly. And then it went off quite fast. To be very frank with you, it took about 3 or 4 months to lose the bulk of the weight. It was around 30 to 40 kilograms.
wow.
And then maybe it was a bit too fast, but I was quite overweight. So I think that's why. When I started to go down to the 110, 115, 20 kilogram, that's when I started to really see slower weight loss progression.
Yes.
But I know that a lot of people hit that part and they're like, oh, it's not working for me. You need to change up. You need to just keep going. You may lose less, but eventually it'll keep coming down as long as you stick to your plan. So I went down to, I think at my lowest, I was 85 kilograms,
Wow.
which to be frank, I wasn't too happy with. I think I was too underweight. That's what I felt for my height, at least in my look. I felt I was a bit underweight.
Right.
That point. So I took a break from keto, and that was around, the COVID time, when I was around that time. So December of 2020, I started to go off keto and enjoy a little bit and still keep the diet plan going. I was off keto, but I still did not consume any carbs. That's one thing to know. Sure, Christmas I did have some carbs, but my meals would consist. I would stop intermittent fasting for 6 months or something. I would have, a regular breakfast, but by regular I mean cutting out the carbs, just eggs, a salad, or avocado, whatever, high fat, low carbs. Same with lunch. Would be lunch. I always prefer salads because I'm doing working, so I have a good hearty salad, and I make it myself.
Brilliant.
And then dinner I would eat with my wife, but it'd be low carb again. So that's how I gained a bit of weight back. I'm now a bit over than I wanted. I want to keep always below 100. Now I am 98 kilograms. And I gained that during the whole year of last year. And now I'm again starting the intermittent fasting and keto slowly, but nothing aggressive.
Yes.
And I've lost 1 kilogram in 1.5 week already. So I want to go down to 95 and plateau at 95, and maybe 94, 95. I'm happy with that. I don't want to be below 90 because I felt kind of too skinny, in my opinion, at least in terms of look, and also energy levels were a bit lower.
Right.
I think for my body size and
you're a big guy.
I think that the weight suited me. So I'm very happy with that. And that's how I lost the weight, to be honest with you. And
man, it really is inspiring. I mean, I probably didn't see you at your heaviest, or maybe I did. I can't remember now.
No, I think I was when I first joined BNI, which you were the president, if I'm not mistaken. I was at my max, like that was one of my max, and I think about a month after, or maybe 3 weeks after joining BNI, is when I decided to do.
When you decided.
So from then on, I did it. But I was also very good at hiding my weight. That's one thing we big guys know very well how to do. Wear black easily.
So I'm still. Oh, right. Yeah. There we go.
Wear a jacket. Cover up as much as you can. So
yeah. Hiding is a big factor. Man, it was inspiring seeing the weight come off you. And you're right. It was like all of a sudden, after sort of 3 months, it was like, whoa, what are you doing? This is amazing. And then I remember when I lost loads, and I didn't lose over 50 kgs like you have, but when I lost loads, people were like, oh, is he unwell? Is there something wrong with him? And it's, well, no, you know, this is intentional. Mind, it's
of course,
focus. It's what I'm driving and striving to do. And man, it was inspirational. Just watching you, how you almost just came alive. You know what I mean? I mean, we always got along well, and you always got along well with everyone else, whichever weight you're at. But it was like that sparkle back in your eye, that stride of yours was slightly different, you know. And and I'm sure. How did it make you feel getting to like 90 kg, say? I mean, just from a health point of view.
For physical health, the main thing that I saw was I suffer from slip discs. I have 2 herniated discs in my L4 and L5. After losing the weight, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. I can lift things. Obviously, I'm careful. I have to be careful. You have to be careful. I can lift things. I can carry my daughter. I can walk my dog. I can carry my dog, which my dog weighs like 40 kilograms, so it's not an issue. I can bend over. I can, when I would bend, I would, you know, like bend at the knees and be a bit more cautious, think about it a lot more. Now I can just pick something up, doesn't bother me, you know. Apart from that, when I was overweight, I would have at least once a month, or maybe every two months, I would be in bed for 2 days, 3 days with severe back issues. Unable to walk. If I did walk, it was like hunched over, you know, severe back pain. Touch wood, I haven't had any of those issues since losing the weight. I pull my back once or twice, you know, it's a normal thing, like, but I can still carry on with my day. I'm not suffering because there's no excess weight onto my back, on my spine, you know. So because of that, the weight loss, I haven't had any back issues. I'm back to rollerblading, which I used to do as a kid.
Oh, wow.
I haven't done that. Skateboarding, I'm back to like rollerblading, cycling, you name it, walking dogs. I'm not much of an exercise guy, but now just looking at how much I do, I'm walking about 10K a day. Wow. Just by doing what I do, you know, walking the dog or exercising. I don't go to the gym. I'm not a gym nut. But you know, just keeping active, making sure that I try and do at least 10,000 steps a day, which is roughly 10 kilometers. But I could never do that before. I could never, you know. I think not only the physical part, but the mental part has changed a lot for me. You know, you don't see a fat guy exercising. You feel embarrassed about that kind of thing. So when I would go rollerblading as a fat person, I would always think subconsciously, yeah, what is that? What does the people think about this fat guy rollerblading? Now I'm skinny and people don't even, not that people did before anyways, but now it just doesn't bother me. I'm just, you know, rollerblading, I'm cycling, I'm walking my daughter, I'm walking my dog, we're going to the park. I jump around with my daughter. I know it's really like important. We have a park nearby and I go on the climbing frame and I can hold myself, lift myself up and stuff like that. I physically can do anything that she can do, which, fantastic. You know, and more, obviously. She's only 2. So before I wouldn't even attempt to do something like that because I know I'd hurt my back and I'd be out. So I don't want to do that. Now I can just live my life without having to worry about being in pain.
Fantastic, man. And again, for me, I'm in that pain at the moment. I got back to about 130 here in Dubai, and then I was in such pain, inflammation of the joints, and I decided, no, I need to lose weight. So I went along this path, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put it out there. It's a very ballsy thing to do, and it's embarrassing coming on and saying, hey, look, I'm a fat bloke, I'm trying to lose weight. You know what? But I don't care, man. At the end of the day, we're human beings. You know, there's a lot of things I do right, and there's probably a lot of things I do wrong. And you know, if I can get down to my goal weights and this is going to help me, I'm going to do it. And if what we're doing today is going to help anyone else, just say, you know what, I'm not going to wait till Monday to start. I'm starting now, like you did.
That's the idea,
And 100, oh man, the amounts of diets I've started in a week's time. It is crazy. Yeah, I should be a stick, like literally a stick, for the amount of times I started and didn't start. So, yeah, man, it really is. It's like I said from the beginning, it's so inspirational actually seeing you from the time that you were at your highest weight to where you are now. And not that we've spent a lot of time together, but when we have seen one another, you've kept this weight off, and it's been like 2 years now, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's I remember just looking at the pictures I sent you. It was 2019 when I lost the
Yeah,
weight. So keeping it off, keeping it strong, and I'm not really, I'm enjoying my life, to be honest with you. I'm not suffering like people say. Once you lose the weight, you need to keep, living your life differently. That's not the case. Yeah, here you can see that.
sure. And let me just make that bigger. So I
Yeah,
hope, well, you can see it, but yeah,
yeah,
that's how I remember you from the beginning. And now look, oh, and your cute daughter. You
yeah.
know, that
My
that must have been
motivation.
when you were close on 85, right? When you were holding her there.
Yes, yes, that was when I was at my lowest point, 85, less than 85 kilograms. I think I went 84, and then I decided to gain a bit more weight back. I found myself a bit too skinny.
Yes,
Now, but I want to go again back to like 95, something like that, to lose a bit
sure.
more weight. But physically, I feel the same as I felt at 85. So I
Okay,
still feel fit and stuff. But this is me monitoring my weight and not letting go and not forgetting what I'm still doing and where I came from. So
right,
always constantly thinking that you can go back there very easily, much quicker than you can gain the weight much quicker than you can lose the weight.
right.
So you just
Amazing.
always got to keep that in mind. Yeah.
100%. And I think, I've let myself down so many times whilst
Hmm.
I've been on some sort of diet or some sort of lifestyle change, which hasn't really
Hmm.
stuck,
Hmm.
by doing well for 3 days. And then, you know, like your wife and your family member, I met your brother, he's quite a slim dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like my kids are slim, my wife's slim. We go out for a meal and it's like I'm supposed to
Yeah.
eat nothing and they're eating all this good stuff. And I'm like, tomorrow, I'll jump on it tomorrow.
That's
Bam,
that's
I
really
have a
hard.
beer, I have a this, I have a that. Next thing tomorrow, it's like, I'll start next week. The amount of
No, yeah.
times that has happened, and I'm sure you were the same. And so
Oh
many
yeah.
people must go through this. And the next day you're beating yourself up. You literally
Yeah.
are tearing yourself apart, which then takes you back to the damn cupboard for some comfort food. So it's
Yeah.
it's a vicious
True.
circle. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
I think what is so amazing about you and your sort of journey is that you did it on your own, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
and kudos to you, man, because it
Mhm.
takes a very, very, very strong person to actually do that and
Thank
stick with
you.
it. No,
Yeah.
honestly, like I said, I've been trying to do stuff like this for years, and
Hmm.
I know now that I have an accountability partner, and I'm
That's
running
good.
this. Running this. Would you have benefited from somebody?
Uh, James, let me be very frank for you. If you don't have people around you helping you, if you don't have somebody helping you, you'll never lose the weight. I did everything on my own, but of course I had motivation. My daughter, my wife. So I agree completely with you that you need somebody there, like you say, your program, your accountability program. I think that's what you need, because sometimes maybe your family members, they have their own things to do,
Yeah.
and they don't have the weight to lose, so they can't be put into your mindset.
Yes.
See, if you have another person who needs to lose the weight like you can account on each other. You can say, hey, look, I've eaten this today, I've eaten that today, how am I doing? And vice versa. I
Yeah.
think that's really important. And now that I'm again in the stage of losing a bit of weight, I think I wouldn't mind being, helping somebody out while I'm also losing weight, not just telling them how I did it. Let's go on the scales together. Let's see where we are, and put those numbers in a personal view, so you can see that there's some accountability. Because you
Yes.
can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to anybody else about your weight.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think also from a, a chubby dude to a former chubby dude, I think when you
Mhm.
have lost that weight, you do want to help other people. It's
Oh
a
yeah,
natural,
yeah.
it's a natural sort of thing. It's like I see other friends of mine or people that I know that have put on some weight, and you're like, come on, man, we can do this. It's a bit
Yeah,
of
easily. Yeah,
encouragement.
yeah. Yeah, if what I say, I know this is very cliche, but if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I lived a very shitty, unhealthy food lifestyle, burgers, fast food, drive-throughs. If you watch those American documentaries about the people and the morbidly obese people, I was one of those people. I
Mm.
followed that lifestyle, and it was really good. I loved eating and enjoying. I'm a foodie, my wife is a foodie. My family is foodie. They eat. My brother, like, he's skinny. He orders like Pizza Hut every night, whatever. So So there was the temptation was always there. And my wife would eat normal meals, she wouldn't follow keto. It's only me in the house. So you really need to have somebody there to help you along the way, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it just adds to the success level. I mean, you're an outlier when it comes to this, honestly. No, you are. You're an outlier because I would say, no, there's no stats there probably are stats, but I haven't researched them. But it must be a 5% chance of actually doing it by yourself, as opposed to, being part of a community, being part of a program, being part of an accountability sort of situation.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Even people ask me, you went on keto without going to a specialist or something. I'm like, yeah, I just did my research online, and they say you didn't count calories, you didn't do this, you didn't make. No, I was like, no, I use my, my good
common sense
brain or whatever. Common sense.
Yeah.
I use common sense in judging what was healthy for me and what wasn't, and what I needed and what I didn't need. My advice to anybody is eat what you have at home. Like don't eat out, main thing, and everything you eat, you should make. That's my advice. If you can. If you can't, there is of course opportunity all over. But the thing about losing weight is that you need to know what you're eating. That's it. And also I didn't exercise when I lost all the weight. I barely did any exercise. I walked a little bit, but nothing much.
Yes.
For me, and what people say is 80% is your diet. 20% is exercise.
Yes.
So if you combine the both, sure, you're going to lose weight for sure. But if you exercise and you don't diet, there ain't no point.
Yeah, 100%. Wow, man, it's been amazing chatting with you and just learning.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so open and honest and just so free and sending me those pictures again. Inspirational stuff. It really is, and I'm going to, with your permission, put this on all the social channels and so on. That would be really inspirational for others, as well as obviously help me grow my channel and help me grow Weightloss-Friend, which is I know that you're doing this for me and for other people. So much appreciated, man. Thank you so much for your time. I'm glad your meeting was cancelled and we could do this now instead of next week. And
I'm happy we could have done it.
Yeah, listen, let's keep in touch. I will follow my weight loss journey, help a brother out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
I'm always here to help.
Yeah, no, I know you are, man. Thank you so much, Azif. It's been a real pleasure, man. And hopefully we'll catch up soon.
For sure.
In person, with masks on.
Yes.
All right, man. We'll catch up soon. Thanks again. Have a good one.
All right, no problem.
Yes, man.